I wanted to go over how does the Google Ad auction work, because it's a question that many of my students have, and it's not too complicated, but there is a process to it that we can learn a little bit about how to track it, what the metrics are, and what to do to optimize our web pages and websites for Google Ads. So Google Ads are user-centered. When someone types in a search query, Google immediately checks an advertiser pool. So if there are 5 businesses that decided that they wanted to compete for that search term, for my business as a mobile notary, it might be Mobile Notary Santa Barbara, myself, and maybe 2 or 3 other mobile notaries in our area may be competing for that. Google immediately checks that. It's within milliseconds, and they decide, oh, there's an ad, and the auction is triggered. And what happens then is that the most relevant ad wins. It's not always how much you are willing to spend for it. So, but that brings up a good question, like how come I can spend more money but not win the auction? We're used to winning if we spend more money in this country. And the truth is that Google isn't interested in the money as much as continued use, because they will always win with continued use of Google because they gave you the right result. So the highest bidder doesn't always win. In this example, we've got Nike, Adidas, Reebok, and K-Swiss. And I'm going to add Converse in there too. It's not on the screen, but just for these purposes, we can see that Adidas is willing to spend $1.50 and Nike is willing to spend $1.25. And Adidas might be upset that they weren't in position #1 on the search engine result page, because that's the very first ad, and it's most likely to get the clicks when people search for things and they see that ad. A lot of people don't even know it's an ad, and they'll click on it. And the first one is like 20% higher, more likely to get a click than the second one. So Nike, if they're first, they're happy about that. Adidas still will get clicks from that setup because they're in position #2, but Nike might have the most relevant landing pages or ad itself for that search term. And that doesn't mean Adidas isn't first sometimes. It depends on what the phrase is. So the most relevant ad should always win. That's always what you need to remember. And let's break that down one more time with the timeline. So Nike bids $1.25 on reasonably priced athletic shoe in Google AdWords. Converse might bid $1.22 on the same keyword phrase. The user searches for that phrase. Google ends up putting Converse first based on their higher quality score. Their quality score having to do with how good the ad is, how good their landing page is, how many times maybe that search phrase shows up on the landing page or in the ad, and whether the ad has extensions like a phone number or different web landing pages that they could go to. So the user would click on that first position, even though Converse spent a little less, they win. So again, Nike would still be there. They still get clicks. They're still going to have a successful ad campaign, but Google is actually choosing the cheaper ad. And just to wrap it up, your price for a Google ad is the cost per click bid that you give them and the next bid down. So you're actually paying less than what you bid on. And your ad rank is based on the format and quality of your ad. So the most relevant ad gets the best position. And that's it for a little Google Ads auction primer, and we'll see you next time.